Not yet.
There we go. Okay, I'm up. I'm actually seeing me on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I see you. I see you.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Yeah, I see you. Would you get out of that so I don't hear us twice?
Okay, yeah, because I just had it going like really trippy because it just kept showing video inside of video inside of video. Okay, so we're all good on that.
I'm gonna start streaming.
Yeah, go ahead, get ready to start streaming.
It started. Alright, so,
Alright.
bring up, I guess.
Alright, and
now recording.
So that works.
That's loud.
Yeah. But that's all. It only makes it sound when it's recording and when it's done. So we're all good.
Gotcha. Yep, we're good. We should be good to go. Let me just check and make sure I'm on my phone real quick.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and have the bot leave and then join back once we actually get live and ready.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me make sure on my end that you're online.
Yeah, our thing.
It is.
Wait.
Start watching. Yep, you're online. You're online. Start watching. Yep, you're online. You're online.
Right, yeah. Okay, good. It's just, wow, my sound is like really low. I gotta fix that.
Yeah. Go into your mic settings and turn that sensitivity all the way up, buddy.
Oh, no, I'm talking about like the stream sound.
Oh, the stream sound?
Sounds really low.
or is your like dashboard just very low?
Maybe it's my dashboard.
Because it could be that your computer's on low. But let me know when you're ready and we'll get started.
System sounds is completely off. That's not gonna do it, is it? OBS maybe? I'll put OBS up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should do it. That should raise the volume. Alright.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright.
Now recording.
And now we're live. Okay, so what do you want to go over first?
You want to go over like, do you want to go over the Rise of Skywalker first, or do you want to talk about like?
I don't know if I'm ready to open up that sword. God.
I mean, well, instead then I guess we could talk about what we have here on the links over here, so that we can just kind of show off and look at what the news articles are running are. Do you want to start from the top of it, or?
Yeah, we could go ahead and start from the top, because I actually haven't checked out any of these yet.
Okay. Well, I have read mine.
What, you read the one that you shared? Yeah,
because I actually read that way back when. So this is an interesting thing, because Xbox says Nintendo and Sony are no longer main rivals.
Yeah, I mean, like, I seen just a very, like, header of it from when Discord, you know, does the little debrief at the top.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to say that Amazon and Google are now going to be their bigger competition. And
yeah, right?
I'm not for sure on that. I mean, I see Stadia picking up a little bit, but I don't see it beating, you know, standard gaming in that sense.
Right. Like, yeah, no, it comes down to, like, the streaming experience, right? Because I have only now had one good streaming experience, and it wasn't Stadia, by the way.
What did
it was GeForce Now. GeForce Now was really good. Actually, it almost felt like I was, honestly, like, latency wise, I barely noticed it. I was playing Destiny 2 with GeForce Now on my NVIDIA Shield, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that
was I'm not like, I gave Stadia a try. It worked per se.
Like a latency thing, because that's what I've heard.
Yes, it had a little bit of a latency issue, but that was with me going off of 5G. I wasn't even connected to internet, and actually no, it was 4G, not even 5G, because I wasn't getting the strongest connection.
Well, I would expect that from 4G, right?
Mm-hmm. But it was 5G, still really cool being able to pick up and play Hitman 2 on my cell phone.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really an awesome experience. I mean, like, but then again, you look at what Microsoft's saying, you know, like they're saying, oh, Nintendo and Sony are not their rivals, that, oh, it's going to be stream services.
All right, so
but it's kind of like, contradictory, would you say? Like, because they went ahead and they're like, oh yeah, but check out our super powerful console.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing from what they're saying on here, they're like, so when you talk about Nintendo and Sony, they have a ton of respect for them, but we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors going forward.
This is
That's not
Phil
disrespect to
Spencer.
Nintendo and Sony, but the traditional gaming companies are somewhat out of position. But what are you, Xbox? What are you trying to advertise yourself as?
Like the thing is, I think if they said like, because the thing is, I can't really see how Stadia is a competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to think for a moment there because when you think about Stadia, right, the biggest issue with Stadia is that Stadia you have to own the game already.
Yeah. Well, actually,
And you have to buy
gives
the
you
game.
quite a bit of free games starting out.
So starting out, yeah, now, but before you had to buy each game on Stadia itself. You couldn't even own it on another platform and be able to play it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like GeForce Now, what was cool about that is I had Destiny 2 on Steam, so I could play it.
Oh, so they
on
actually
GeForce
let
Now.
you configure
Yeah, I
it
didn't
like
have to
that.
buy it again.
Now,
Yeah,
I can't say anything at all about the Amazon streaming because I haven't
it hasn't
tried
even
that
come
yet.
out yet.
Oh, it
I don't
hasn't
think
even
it's
come
even
out
come
yet?
out yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even really heard much about that.
To be honest, I didn't know it was happening until I read this
Yeah,
back in the day.
same here. I didn't even know that Amazon created
It was on
a
Luna.
gaming stream until you sent this.
I thought they just made like a terrible MOBA
Mm-hmm.
called Crucible. I thought that's all they had done.
So it looks like Apple is offering. Okay, now they don't offer a cloud, but they offer a monthly subscription to something along those lines.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would say though, like coming back a little bit to Google and Amazon and Microsoft, I just find it odd that this was the big thing that Phil said, right? Because this is Phil Spencer talking. This is the head of Xbox.
Yeah, I see that.
And he comes around and he's saying this, but he's like kind of almost dismissive of Nintendo and Sony when in reality, Amazon and Google don't have a box. Like, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to take over your living room as your essential way of communicating with everything, like internet wise and all that on your TV.
Well, Xbox is trying more for a monopoly style approach.
Yeah, very, very obviously, right? It's kind of bad, but I think it's kind of funny because he says traditional rivals, right? They're traditional rivals, Nintendo and Sony.
Yeah, he's calling them traditional gaming companies.
And I understand that maybe when it comes to xCloud, xCloud is like competing with, Stadia and Luna.
So what is exactly xCloud?
xCloud is just Xbox's streaming service where you can stream your games to your phone or computer, I think. Now, I don't know if it's your computer. I think it's just phones for now.
Now that works with regular Xbox games that you own through Microsoft, or do they allow other?
It's through Game Pass. You can only get it through Game Pass.
So only through. So you have to have a Game Pass subscription in order to use their cloud gaming.
I mean, so let me just look that up real quick. Let me just
that works in a way with them. I don't know.
Game Pass Ultimate. I mean, yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, it can work very well. It's not panel service. It is. Sorry. That's cool.
Yeah. So is it still in development?
Yeah, it's in beta.
Yeah, because with this is saying that it's invite only.
Yeah. Well, now if you just have that was back then. Now if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you just get access to it. Everyone gets to try it, right?
Now, are they running it in 1080? Because Stadia is actually now in 4K streaming.
I don't know.
Because Stadia just now came out with 4K streaming through the Google Home.
Well, I can tell you though something that's a bit, I think, bigger is that Microsoft shouldn't yet even consider, because I've heard the xCloud runs really well, right? Even if it's only 1080p streaming, it's only on your phone at the moment, so I don't think 4K really matters, right? But the fact that it's running really well and then it's attached to Game Pass, I think kind of just washes out Stadia and Luna out the gate. Like, I don't think they should even consider them competition, really.
Well, here's the thing. I do see Stadia being a plausible competition about a year down the road. A year or two.
Maybe.
If Stadia is able to work hand in hand with Steam.
Oh yeah, if they could let you use the games you own, yeah. That would be.
I could see that deal going down. it would just take a hot minute. But I could see it going down.
Oh yeah, it's probably the way to go. Considering I think GeForce Now has the right idea, and then or you could just use a Game Pass type service. But the only issue with
I
that,
could see Lord Gaben working towards something like that.
yeah, I can see Gaben do that. I can see Gaben really pushing for it, but I think they would have to talk to him first. I don't think Google will. I think Google's very greedy. And
I don't know, like I'm saying, in a year from now, I could see Google kind of seeing Xbox being a lead competition and then wanting to hop in on that before Xbox does.
Yeah, probably. It'd be a great idea for them to do, because at least then Xbox will have a rival in that area. But then Microsoft also has to consider that even in things they're talking about,
PlayStation does have a streaming service as well.
Yeah, they had the first streaming service, and I've used PlayStation Now. I've actually used it.
How is it?
It's not bad. I would argue that the thing with PlayStation Now that's good is that you can download the games, right? Like you just download those games, unless they're like a PS3 game. So obviously, it's not going to work on PS4.
Yeah.
But you could download those games, or you could stream them. And I tried streaming some PS3 games. Like I've streamed Infamous 2, and there was a little bit of input lag, but it wasn't that much worse from what I experienced with GeForce Now, in all honesty. Now, my internet is not the greatest internet ever, but I got a pretty decent internet connection. At the time, I had 200 megabits down, and I had like 10 megabits up, I believe.
Which is what I'm working with now, which I'm a little bit disappointed by, because that was a huge downgrade from where I was at. But yeah, I can make it work.
Exactly. Right now, I'm at 400 megabits down, and like, I think 30 up. But in reality, right, like when you come into like the reality of it, that's not going to make much of a difference. Like,
oh no!
When it comes to these stream servers, it comes down to servers and their locations. I might be closer to a server
because I'm seeing streaming probably only takes 60 down.
Yeah, probably.
That's my guess, between 60 to 80 down, because I don't see it being too tasking, because it has to offer to lower internets.
The biggest issue is latency in the internet. Like, I really feel like that's what it comes down to, because like Google State, I believe, was saying like, oh, you could stream 4K back in the day. I'm pretty sure they said 4K at like 100 megabits.
Yeah.
But like, what they didn't say was, well, it also depends on what your latency is to the server, because if you aren't close to that server, it doesn't matter if you have a gigabyte, 10 gigabyte, you can have a 100 gigabyte connection for all they care.
Now,
you ain't getting service.
What you might find interesting is why don't you peep the article that I sent in here about the PS2 games?
Ooh, yes, that's interesting. I actually saw that, and I decided not to.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Redirect.
Sending you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because I just opened it up through a separate link on my phone when I first got it through Facebook.
It works on the computer.
So that's probably why it's redirect. But yeah,
gotcha.
So I read a little bit into this article. I was at work, and with the Series S, it's not even the new Xbox. It's just the Series S. In developer mode, you could actually download things from the internet and run them, so it works basically as a computer. So basically what people are doing is they're installing emulators in order to run older games.
Oh, wow. Okay, I see the video where the guy's running God of War.
Yeah, which I find to be really interesting.
Of course, that's obviously not going to run like
in the last episode,
the best type of film, because it's clearly not purposed for this, but it looks like it runs it well. That's pretty cool.
And to be totally honest, I was almost thinking about giving up.
Retro.
Waiting for a later time.
Which is still very much.
Okay. So I'm pulling up the video on stream, and
a little bit of it on there.
It looks like that he ran into a few issues at the beginning, but he found a way to make it work.
So it's like it's gonna take some work around. I imagine when a console is not a PC, right? That's like where like I would imagine you have to play with it a little bit to make it work. That's really cool. Like the idea, right? I'm sure it'll be patched out by by Microsoft not wanting to get sued by PlayStation.
But here's the thing: it's a developer, and it's literally just being able to run things on the internet. So, in the same aspect,
A lot of
PlayStation should be able to sue fucking Windows.
That's true. That's true. But then again, then maybe they can get away with it. Again, it's not like it's a
Yeah, because it's
direct
not.
thing they're
Yeah,
allowing.
it's not what Microsoft put out themselves.
Oh, this guy put on God of War. It does look like it doesn't do the things that they talk about the systems doing, which is like putting these games up to 4K and stuff. But makes sense, it's not the actual Xbox OS.
Oh no, it's not the actual game itself. It's running at whatever.
Just emulating whatever the emulator's set to. And I don't know how they would adjust that. Imagine they could, right?
Mm-hmm. But
then again.
Yeah, I mean, I find that to be really. Unfortunately, I find that to be a very strong driving point for Xbox, is that they have that availability on there.
Yeah, no, that's a cool idea. Like 100%, that's awesome.
Because I don't see PlayStation striving for anything quite like that.
No, PlayStation very much is much more for, and you can tell they're very forward thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do see some weird effect things going on right now with like in Jack and Dexter, but that's just an emulation issue.
Pop up your share screen.
My share screen? Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah,
sure.
Go ahead, pop it up. I want to see what you're looking at.
I'm just kind of like looking at things. Hold up, here you go. So let me show you. Because look, it runs Metal Gear.
Oh yeah, Metal Gear. It looks to be running no problem at all. Yeah, I think that's the part where I seen where he was talking about where the game was actually running at a faster speed. Was one of his issues that he was running into.
Oh yeah, because most of these games are not meant to go higher than anything like 30 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them run 60. Yeah, see Jack and Dexter weird shadowing.
I think that was a point where I heard him where he was talking about that the game was running at a much faster speed, but he found a way to fix that later on.
Yeah, that's probably like I said, he could probably play with emulation settings, and that'll probably.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, some games are always going to give you issues just because they just don't.
But seeing this working like that, it does make me want to get the Series S.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, but for that, just download the emulator. You know what I mean? And then on your PC, you can just get your games.
I see at this point where Xbox is just trying to make the ultimate media system. Not exactly in sense of a console, but they're running more of a media household item.
Yeah, definitely. They want you to have it in your house and use it for anything.
Which I believe is kind of the next big step forward.
There you go. Oh my god, that's Echo.
But I could see that being the next big step forward is actually turning consoles into a home media system. Because that's kind of what we were running into, I guess, last gen. It's no longer current gen, when they were adding Blu-ray readables and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, with Xbox One, I don't know if the Xbox One X does it, or even the S, but the OG, I'm just going to stop it now.
Go ahead.
So the OG Xbox One, I don't know if you knew this, but you could actually pass through a lot of different, I think it was up to 2 or 3 inputs, and you could pass them through the Xbox One.
Oh yeah, no, I used to run my PlayStation through my Xbox. I was that petty where I literally just hooked up my PlayStation through my Xbox to save me an HDMI port.
Yeah, because it was like an extra couple of HDMIs. It was great.
But it was something that they were working out with, because they were actually wanting to do it to where you could watch your DirecTV through it.
Yeah, that was the idea. But then everyone used it for other things, like playing Breath of the Wild through their Xbox.
But it just adds a whole nother level. And
what you could do, yeah.
Which I think honestly is the next step forward, is turning a console into the ultimate media system.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Now with this, you're drowning out your competition for Blu-ray players. You're drowning out your competition for movie players. You're drowning out your competition for the Fire Stick, because you're adding all these streaming services to your system. So
I mean, but then
it's
again,
killing the middleman.
I will say though, however, not far from what the PlayStation did. The only thing they did extra was just the extra HDMI, having its HDMI ins, I should say, right?
Added a lot.
It did.
It didn't
But
seem
at the
like
same
it at the
time,
time. It
doesn't
seemed
seem
like
much.
a
It's supposed to be
goofy
already used.
little just additive, like I don't know why you added this. But as time went on and seeing as more stuff came out, like the Fire Stick and stuff like that, it
Yeah, like
adds.
you could see like where it's like, okay, this was ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, however, here's something really cool though. Something actually like really cool, I think, is I can see one big use for that pass through, and I really hope the Series X has it actually. Because in the future I do plan on getting one just for legacy games and whatnot. But
Wait, what is the new one? It's called Series.
Series X. I believe that if it has pass through, just on Xbox One, wouldn't it make sense that you could use the
Oh
Xbox One?
no, they got rid of it.
They got rid of it.
They
Damn.
got rid of
I was
HDMI
like,
pass through and one guide, so they don't even have one guide anymore.
man. 'Cause I was gonna say, dude, literally, I don't know if you know this or if you thought of this, but imagine getting your classic game consoles, putting them through an HDMI converter into the Xbox One, and then using your Xbox One to just use your legacy systems.
I have my old legacy systems all sitting inside storage right now, which I'm actually hoping to, for too long, pick up an old box TV and actually be able to play them again.
Yeah, but like imagine if you just get one HDMI converter, right, or CAA to HDMI, and you're just able to put it through to your Xbox and then go through Xbox into your TV, and it just converts it for you.
Oh,
right?
No, that would be awesome.
That's what you could technically do on the OG Xbox One.
Yeah.
So
on the Xbone.
On the Xbone, yeah. Now we have the XX for the sex. I guess that's what you can call it now.
But I have something a little goofy to show you.
Yeah, it's like goofy.
Well, why don't you click through the last link that I sent you? This X does not exist. I don't know if you've checked these out or not.
What are these? Use generative adversarial networks.
We can learn AI how to generated stuff.
Really?
So, like, this person does not exist. It is an actual...
Well, she does look fake.
It's a 100%... Well, click on it. It actually pops up a different face every time. But it's an AI-generated face. So,
that looks like someone that you would meet. Wow, that's actually really good.
Now they do have a couple goop ups in some of these. Goof ups. I can't even talk right now. But, yeah, they have a couple mix-ups, of course, that you run into with AI.
Cool.
But
that's cool.
It's kind of scary how AI is getting. Like, I don't know if you've heard of AI Jukebox.
No, not. Isn't that like the thing where it makes like it creates like auto-generated music?
Yeah, in a sense. So like somebody would run a song through AI, but they only run through 5 or 10 seconds, and then the AI auto-generates the rest of the song. And there's been some eerie moments to where lyrics are ran through. Like, for example, I put through a Nirvana song, right? It Smells Like Teen Spirit. Yeah. And only ran through first 10 seconds. And the AI actually generated, and it kind of copied Kurt's voice and changed it a little bit, and it was actual lyrics that were not presented before.
That's pretty cool.
So it
also kind of weird.
It warped audio and made new lyrics using the same voice.
So it's like an AI generated deep.
Yes. So if you think about it, within the next 10 years, there would literally be Photoshop deepfakes, pretty much.
That's terrifying. Let's see this wife.
Kind of like
that's cool.
Yeah, kind of like where we had pretty much the new Star Wars series, for example, Princess Leia, where they're able to bring in, even though she passed, but they were still able to bring her into the movie in 2 different scenes. But we might be able to, within the next, 10, 15 years, create a whole movie with
just AI.
Yeah, with a dead actor, but just with AI generated. Where we could create new words, new sentences.
New words, new sentences. Oh
boy,
that's
with deepfake, how good we're getting with creating faces and stuff like that, we could actually do facial structures where it's an animated character, but looks real enough to where it's 100% believable.
Yeah, where it's a great illusion for your brain. That's cool.
Yeah, cool. I was browsing through this today, and some of these are just so eerie.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite things to do, like going on YouTube, is to check out oh my god, I forgot what his channel name is. But what he does is he makes AI that learn how to play games or learn how to do something, and
because I mean,
it's
even at the point where they're creating animals that do not exist. Like this horse does not exist.
Seriously, I see this butterfly does not exist.
And it's like this automobile does not exist. It's like creating ideas where before too long we could literally use AI to help create stuff that doesn't exist yet, but as an idea going forward.
My first horse that does not exist. I may have to show you what it did.
Go ahead, pop it up.
Hold on, let me share my screen.
Because I love looking at the mishaps with this.
Alright, bro. Look at this. Let me zoom in.
Now, of course, you are running into mishaps. Because this is actually, a lot of this is new stuff that came out this year, late last year. And with it being AI generated, it's stuff that is constantly becoming new. Like, these lyrics do not exist. I would definitely love to, one of these days, create just a random song.
Seeing what comes out. That'd be cool. I mean,
just
if
off
you ever
of
do
random generated lyrics.
Show it to me. Yeah, I want to see it, definitely.
Like, I think I'm in love with this one that already just popped up. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
Let's see it. I want this.
So let's go ahead. Let's go live on that.
I want to see this. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Go get a job. Some dudes. What you want to think is like, alright. Belong to a poison hand. I hate the gold and the chains around my body. Okay. Why are they making me hate myself? Okay, hold on. Is this like... This sounds emo.
Oh, dude, this is... Well, alright, so they literally
Song
have
topic
it on here.
Okay.
And you do your genre, your mood, and stuff like that. And then it literally creates a random AI generated.
What's crazy, though, is I could see this being a song.
Oh, yeah, like, I could literally right now grab my guitar and create some kind of chorus with this. Like, this works great for new and inspiring musicians and stuff like that to be able to use this technology at hand.
Well, wouldn't you say that might actually also hamper our creativity? Because we don't have to think?
In a way, but you could also use this as a drawing board. To where when you're having a mental block, you could pull this up and steal some ideas from this. Because, of course, you can't use the whole thing because it's not going to make the most amount of sense.
No, but you could take, like, a good verse from it.
Oh, yes. You could take a good couple verses from it. Like, you could literally take this half of it. And then you could take, and the chains around my body. You could literally take pretty much the first verse, the chorus. You could take verse 2.
Yeah, the pre-chorus, I think.
Like, let's see. Let's go with the very happy pop song about muscles. About muscles.
Muscles. Oh shit! You are my energy. Take charge all. That does not sound. That very first line does not sound very safe for work.
The song does not sound safe for work. So it goes, you are my energy, take charge and all control. I muscle my way inside. I like the way your jeans fit your muscles. I like the way you look, so no one likes you. Who brings out the freaking me when you show me some leg?
God. Okay, I see what you mean.
Alright, so let's go with
make it very sad.
Very sad. Let's go with metal. That's gonna be a song about
Make a song about... Oh, yeah, I'll say...
a metal sad song
poodles.
about puppies.
Something's not right.
Okay.
Oh, they don't know. What about poodles?
Or just puppy.
Puppy. Okay.
He dumb enough. Here come that puppy. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. I want you a puppy. That I put poison inside to beat the monster in the dark.
Not dog, not doggy no say no. Is this a rap? It's like rap.
Alright, so let's create a rap song about... Give me a topic.
Dude, make a rap song about, marshmallows. Yeah. Marshmallows gotta be it. It's not a topic. Okay, what about,
I probably didn't even spell it right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Marshmallow statue or tear. Marshmallow statue takes the air in sweet blow. In sweet blow.
I'm just imagining like a rapper cutting up a marshmallow and adding it to his line of cocaine.
Aim. It's amazing. It's actually amazing.
Okay. So, you know what? Let's go with Aqua. It's gonna be a very happy country song.
Let's see. What makes her gang when life goes south? Could be happy with a home and a shoulder. Wherever Aqua went, my heart went. Aqua took me in and loved me for life.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that's kind of sweet.
I think I'm honestly going to take time out,
You should
hook up my electric guitar, go inside the garage,
and make a song with
and
one of these.
literally make just a random rock song.
Rock
Very
song.
sad, and it's, you know what? It's gonna be a song about poop. Because who doesn't like butt humor?
Yeah, okay. Just poop all your worries off the screen.
Dude, just poop all your worries off the screen. They're not talking to me anymore. If you poop me, you got. If you defeat me, you got. If having a poop is bad for you, yeah, I got no doctor to prove it to. I got the phone calls, she got on poop. But I woke up next to her, we just met. I never meant to take this town under my poop. Hold your language, crowd said.
How are you gonna do this?
So
How are you gonna do that
I
with
think, I think poop just confused the algorithm. So you know what? Let's do something that is just going to throw it completely for a loop. Give me...
Let's go on.
Yeah. What do we want to go with? Why don't we go with an actual sentence?
Oh, an actual sentence? Why don't you put this? These lyrics do not exist as a song topic. I don't think it's gonna work, but oh my god,
It's...
it did it. Oh my god. I think it just took the word lyrics though. I feel like it just took the word lyrics. Like how it's also
but
very
you have
sad.
you as a example. I push not used to. Who they are, what they do, how they feel, how to be. They seem good, that is. But the water quality, you guys seem to do the most. What?
Water quality guys seem perfect. Dude, go down to prequels.
You were you,
second
then
one?
she was. She was not there at all. This is not me. This is not me. Well, this is not me. This is not me. And all we do is hate and wonder why. But it's alright. It's alright.
Oh, burning pennies from when the
Pennies
last
from when
owner.
the last owner.
From when the last owner what? He just cuts off, leaves you without anything.
Oh yeah, and I'm literally going to leave these, like, I'm not going to take or edit any of these when I do make a video on it.
Just
I'm
do
just
it.
gonna...
Just go straight shot. Should do one take too, like, just so that way it's as hammy as the actual like thing.
Okay, so let's go with... No, I did not want to go with that.
Exist. Does hell exist?
Very sad about nature.
Well, nature seems much stronger than me. Good Mother Nature, I feel your eclipse. Well, actually, the first verse is pretty good.
So the
Except for
world
the
may
double
seem
eyes.
strange, but wild nature seems much stranger to me. Sorry, oh sweet mother child. I feel your eclipse. The smell of the swamp and the touch of the great North Sea, the sound of muddy water, bath in the fall of Mother Nature.
Nature cannot protect us, huh?
You know what?
Okay. That's
Let's take an actual song,
smells like Teen Spirit. Oh god.
and we're going to go with actual songs about these genres and the actual moods, and see what the lyrics come up with. Okay, no. I was wondering if it was literally just gonna copy and paste it.
Oh man, it's an AI. It doesn't think the same way. I would like, I would like to see is the actual code of this thing.
What?
I'd like to see the actual code behind this thing.
Oh, dude, I would love to see the code behind all of these.
The way you'd have to think to actually make something like this with an AI,
I'm just gonna
it must be
Yeah, I'm just
ridiculous.
gonna leave my stream up for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna. Oh, should I stop watching? Or...
Oh no. Do whatever you want to. You can drop it off if you want. Yeah, here I'll drop off the stream.
Here we go.
Okay.
So, I guess there's one more thing we haven't looked at yet, which is so that.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I think it's one of those patents that honestly is going to it's never gonna be done. I feel like it's not gonna happen because you know how expensive just one of these systems are.
Take a look at because I actually put in some of the blueprints for it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it, but it still comes down to this weird thing of it's weird because when I'm looking at this, it looks like it's doing 2 APUs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's having 2 CPUs and 2 GPUs, but that's something that's a little odd. I see how they say it's going to work, right? CPU and GPU both are going to go into a memory controller into the memory, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. That actually might work. Who fucking knows? But it's a little weird as I go down it because
now,
when you think about
if they do follow suit with this, right? Do you think they're going to keep this as the next console,
design?
As a PS6 or as a Pro?
I think if dual like Crossfire SLI style is going to become a mainstay for consoles, it's going to be a mid-generational upgrade. There's no fucking way they're going to release their console with 2 APUs out the gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially because maybe they'll be the ones to break the curse, but we all know that on PC it's very difficult to really stress and push the full power of 2 GPUs, right? What CPU can do that? And maybe that's why they have 2 CPUs there. Maybe that's the key to fix it. But if I got another 1660 and I crossfired them, the performance boost I would see would be almost non-existent. It would barely be worth it. I might lose performance.
Do you think that with the speed that we're going with consoles now, we'll ever run into a true competition against PC?
It is. And most people won't like that, but it's true. It is. Because when you think about it,
we're literally at the point where I don't see us being able to progress much more without us being at a serious fight with PC.
The only way you could argue, right? In here, let me just bring up real quick.
Well, the only true argument that I see is that PC you're always going to be able to upgrade.
The thing is, the PC is the only platform where you can optimize your experience to whatever you want it to be.
But I remember Xbox talking something about that where they'll have a fully customizable system.
And if they do, that's cool. Go for it. Right? But here, let me give you right now the rundown on just the stats on the Series X and S and the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
Both are running AMD Zen 2 CPU cores that are clocked at, PS5 3.5, X Series X 3.8, right?
Hold up. So they're having 2 different input devices on this. What?
Input device?
Yeah, so scroll down a little bit when you're going through the blueprints, about towards the bottom of the page.
Follow me.
On the
I saw it too, but it would make sense. There'd be 2 GPUs.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to figure out why we'd still need to have 2. Why don't they just block off 1?
No, but it's pretty easy to figure out why they would do 2. And this is really far-fetched, actually, but the way they could do 2 is, what if they let you do split-screen gaming with 2 HDMIs?
Yeah, but with the way that gaming's going, they're kind of getting rid of local gameplay.
It's true, but at the same time, how cool would it be if the idea behind this, and remember, Sony's very forward-thinking. I think they're much more forward-thinking than Microsoft when it comes to consoles evolution, right?
Yes.
Microsoft's great ideas on the software end. Sony's got the ideas on the hardware. There's 2 things I think they might do. Without even reading the article, because they're probably going to say we don't know what these are for, but look at what Sony's done with the controller, and then look at what they've done now with the audio. Tempest Audio, where they don't use ray traced audio, right? Because that's something that I think is actually going to be a Series X later. Is that it's using ray tracing for the audio and lighting when it's using ray tracing. Whereas the PlayStation 5 has a dedicated audio hardware module inside that, so that way ray tracing is only for lighting, right?
Uh-huh.
So they're making it easier. I think with this, it says consumer electronic device D, right? And that's its primary display. I think that what's going to end up happening is we're going to see the PS5 Pro able to either split screen by doing two instances of the same game at once, so people can play locally no matter what game it is, or we're going to see, and I think this will probably be more likely, because there's two CPUs and two GPUs, two games can run at once.
Check this out.
I still like it. Also, that's clearly edited.
Oh yeah, I know.
100%.
I know, but I'm saying.
But you know what I mean? Like, I think.
Well, not that photo. Actually, like, scroll through it to the actual Twitter post.
Yeah, I see where the guy like has like, oh, they're black. Oh, that's cool.
And it's actually gonna have a light sense if it's an actual thing, from how they're making it sound. Because I was actually looking at other photos of it, because it actually kept popping up when I was looking at the DualSense 5. Is that it's actually going to have like a light up system on it.
Cool. I mean, I'll let you know if though what the PS5 controller feels like tomorrow, because mine's coming in tomorrow.
Really?
But yeah. But yeah, like, but what do you think about that? Like, do you think it's possible with two CPUs and two GPUs that they could run two games at once, that two people can play two different games with one console?
I mean, that would make sense.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, other than, running the same game twice and letting two people play it with their own TVs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only thing I would have to then see, though, would be what's the power supply on this thing.
What was that?
The only issue with that whole idea, though, for both, is what the power supply going to look like. Because the power supply on the PS5 is 350 watts.
Oh, dude, that power supply is going to have to be a beast.
Like, it's going to have to be at least 700 watts for that shit. Like, you're running two whole systems, essentially, on that. And it looks like they connect to the same memory. So is the memory controller
I don't know if you remember early 2018 when talks about the PS5 controller was it's going to have a LED touchscreen in it.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, like, I remember the first thing I thought about that was, no? Like, it can barely keep the PS4 controller alive. It doesn't have a full functioning screen on it. You're gonna.
Oh yeah, dude. Tell me how the battery life is. Tell me how the battery life is on the controllers.
Oh, definitely, because that's a big issue. PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Although, and that's why there's like the whole argument still of, should the controller just charge itself or should it need batteries? Well, that's why that whole argument's there. Xbox clearly believes that yes, it needs batteries, right? like they want to go the battery route. That's fine. I mean, do you remember how many times? Like, remember how I had rechargeable batteries when you come over, and like almost never did you ever see me have to change them out?
Mm-hmm.
Because they would last like a week each set.
So I'm going back through this X does not exist, and they actually have a thing on here for this resume does not exist, which sounds really helpful to kind of like high school students
for like,
and to like second or third job people where they're making their own resume. Like, technology is actually coming to a really helpful point, especially AI. Like, this startup does not exist.
Sense.
It takes a few minutes for it to load up, but it actually brings up like a full website that does not exist, but like a great starting point for these people that are making their own websites.
That would be incredible, just to be able to have something you can look at and give you ideas out the gate. That is an awesome system.
Because now this really helps out with roadblocks, creativity roadblocks.
Yeah,
is where I see
how to format something or see what not to do something.
Like what I was saying with these lyrics do not exist. Like, I see the point where you're coming from, where do you think that it will help destroy the creativity flow, but I also see it helping out in a strong way. Because, unfortunately, when you're working with stuff like that, you run into a lot of roadblocks. And a lot of creators, actually, once they run into a roadblock, they pretty much give up.
I'm trying to find something. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find something that I saw. Trying to find the article for it. Because I think that it will really... I think it'll pique your interest, right?
Okay.
Hold on. Dual sense. Keep talking. I'm listening.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. I'm just going through this X does not exist. I'm looking at the few different things.
What they do and whatnot. Like, is there anything else that like really sticks out, or those like I would say those are like probably the most impressive of them all. Really, those are really cool. But I think the most actually I should say the most impressive is definitely the one that like this person's.
Oh yeah, they also have one for cats too. And the cats actually
really bad.
No,
in my opinion.
Did you look at?
They look like real cats, but they have like really bad dithering on their hair.
But still, we came a long way in hair rendering.
Oh yeah, for sure. From The Incredibles when they finally figured out how to even animate long hair. What?
Well, I don't know if you've ever messed with hair generating tools within the years.
I have. It's interesting.
Back when I was in game design in, what was it, 2015, 2016, just the amount of time that it would take to process a patch of hair compared to when I took it again in 2018 was such a difference in that 3-year gap.
Oh. You know what?
What?
I can't find the article anymore, but I can just bring up the Xbox Impulse triggers that people have all forgotten about. Because just now I'm gonna send an article about it from 2013 when they talked about it when Microsoft had announced it, I think.
Because isn't that pretty much what's on the PlayStation 5?
No, not exactly. Just the trigger vibration. Because the Xbox One and the Series X, and actually all the normal Xbox controllers, have what they call impulse triggers.
Okay.
And impulse triggers are where you fire, or you pull back the gun. It makes recoil, and it makes you feel recoil in the trigger, right? You're fired. You're actually supposed to stick with it. How many games do you remember using that?
Maybe Halo.
Didn't use it.
What was that?
Halo didn't use it.
Did any games use it?
I think one. Used it.
Because I remembered I didn't look much into PlayStation 5 because I didn't want to really spoil too much for me. But I was looking into Astro's Playlab.
Oh, Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, Playroom. And just going through where it was showing the different styles with the DualShock and what you could do on it. And I found it really interesting when it was actually going through the DualShock and the presentation on it.
Yeah, it's a different looking controller for PlayStation, that's for sure.
And I forget exactly what it is with the triggers that they have going on with it now.
Yeah, it's trigger resistance and trigger vibrations.
Yes.
Same thing, the Xbox One had impulse triggers, which was that it would just sync with the firing of the gun off screen.
So
but it was never
a little
used.
Bit more in depth.
Yeah, but it was never used. Like, it was a big time thing that they pushed for on the Xbox One, but it got drowned out, I think, by the news of what would it be called? I would have to say it wasn't drowned out really by the news of the whole it's always online and you can't play your games without being connected to the internet, which I think now would be less of a problem to people.
Yeah.
I think people still have a hissy fit about it, and honestly I wouldn't want it either. But the only game that I remember playing that I could remember that feeling was Titanfall.
Yes.
And no wonder Titanfall felt so punchy, right?
Yes.
And then Titanfall 2, I've always thought, feels like it has a lack of, feeling to it. And I never even realized till the other day when I saw an article where they said the DualSense controller is making developers remember that the Xbox controller has this feature. So like, they were saying, oh, the DualSense, they're like Call of Duty developers. People said, oh, hey, everyone's talking about the Xbox or not the PlayStation 5's DualSense version of the Call of Duty Cold War, right?
Uh-huh.
But on the Xbox Series X and on the One, when you use it, it also has rumble in the triggers now. Because they've all suddenly remembered, hey, the Xbox can do that too. Been able to do it the whole time. We all just forgot.
So do you think that they're actually going to keep writing with the trigger work? Or do you think it's just going to be forgotten about on the PlayStation 5?
No, I think it's going to be a thing.
You think
because
it's
I
going to stay
think
a
that
thing?
Sony's made a big enough deal about it to developers.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sony literally said the controller was really based on immersing it. And now you're going to have this issue when you play, let's say a PlayStation 4 game, right? It's backwards compatible on
Mm-hmm.
PS5. I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna see what it feels like. I'm gonna play Demon Souls, and then I'm gonna try out Dark Souls 3 on the PS5, right?
Yeah.
And while it's gonna run, 60 FPS, apparently Demon Souls has some insane feedback on the controller, like to the point where if an arrow goes past your
I
character,
heard that you actually feel like every hit make contact.
you feel footprints, like footsteps.
Dude, that would be wicked.
And it's supposedly like it makes, from what I've heard, from let's say a streamer Maximilian did.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him saying that the vibrations make the HD rumble on the Switch on the Joy Cons feel like wet shit.
So,
to quote him,
are you bringing your PlayStation 5 down with you or no?
I mean, nah, that thing's huge. I probably will bring it my second time going down, but I'm gonna be driving.
Depression.
That's the big difference.
I was gonna say we should do a Demon Souls stream.
I would love to bring it down, dude. I thought about it, but it's gonna be too big.
Yeah.
I will bring my Oculus. You can try out my Oculus Quest, right? Like I got some good shit on there. but yeah, no, I'll bring it down the second time I come down when I'm driving.
Okay. When is that going to be?
I don't know yet, but probably closer. I think probably at the start of my wife's third trimester.
Okay.
So when she really will be uncomfortable while playing, right?
All right.
But yeah. So this Rumble thing, I think is going to stick around. I think this is going to become a staple. Nintendo started with the HD Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I think PlayStation probably messed with the Switch themselves and realized, wow, this is a big deal, and decided to go all in on it. I think Microsoft had the approach of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and I don't blame them. But it definitely attracted me more to the PlayStation than I expected.
That is one thing that I do love Sony for and give them a lot of props for, is how could we move forward?
Yeah.
What could we do to change what we did last generation? And what could we bring forth to the new generation? Because unfortunately, looking at the Series X, it looks more like a reproduction of last gen.
Yeah.
I didn't really see anything new brought forth besides graphics card.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. That's
why I feel like Sony has already won, at least so far, this generation.
Yeah, I think they've actually kind of almost left them in the dust, and that's not a good feeling, because I actually really wanted Microsoft to bring it, right?
Yeah.
I really wanted to bring it this generation, but you know what? At least it's not like the PS4 and the Xbox One, where the PS4 literally finished the race before Xbox even showed up.
Because
you know what I mean?
I feel like I am coming at this a little bit biased because I am more of a PlayStation fan, just because of last gen.
Yeah.
But just looking at how this generation was approached. Now, of course, we're very, very, very early into this generation.
Yeah.
But I feel as though PlayStation 5, at least right now, is in the lead.
Yeah, when it comes to consoles.
Though I can't wait to see what Nintendo
PC,
brings to the table.
Switch.
Now I know Nintendo's not going to win because they don't.
But then again, I don't think Nintendo's even competing with anyone. I think they're in their own bubble at this point.
I do want to see what they bring out, though.
Oh, I'm certain the Switch technically is their next gen console, technically. But I will say this: I think this is my hot take right now. Actually, I think the Xbox is going to win the generation.
You think it's going to win?
I think it's going to make a comeback, and I think that only because Microsoft has it's because of Phil Spencer, has once again put their focus on the games. Like, yeah, you can argue, hey, they're not really exclusives because they're on PC, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean they did.
You know what I mean?
They did buy shit, who was it that they just bought?
They just bought Bethesda and
Bethesda.
all their subsidiaries. Well, really ZeniMax and all their
Mhm.
subsidiaries. So that's when you think about it, that's Arcane Studios, that's id Software, that's Bethesda, that's Machine Games. Like,
But with the
you know what I mean?
success of Demon Souls, do you think that Blue Point's going to be working more hand in hand with Sony?
I think Sony might buy them. I think if Sony's going to purchase a studio, it's going to be Blue Point because they don't own Blue Point. But I do
I
believe
would like
Blue
to
Point
see
we will
Sony
see
purchase more
becoming bigger.
studios, or at least make more studios.
Well, the thing is, I don't think they really need to make more studios because when you think about it, their studios give them enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
They own Guerrilla Games, they own Insomnia, they own Santa Monica, and they own Naughty Dog.
Yep.
Those studios on their own can honestly take the whole generation depending on what they put out. But what I think is that Microsoft has a chance this generation. I genuinely believe that Microsoft has the chance this generation because of the initiative that they've taken to purchase studios and get them all developing games for next gen. They abandoned last gen.
Mm-hmm.
In truth, they abandoned the Xbox One for the sake of having all their future exclusives being made for the next gen. And then none of them were ready for launch. Right?
Yeah.
That's okay. Halo Infinite was supposed to come out, but we saw what happened. People were mad because it wasn't a next-gen game. It was really an Xbox One game because it was going to come out on the Xbox One. So we're going to see, and I think this is going to be a big deal, we're going to see when, and I'd say like about next year, Microsoft's going to make some announcements. Some games are going to start coming out. We have the new Fable remake coming, and I think that alone is going to be a big deal because, well, there's the argument that, oh, a lot of these games are going to come out on PC. It's like, yeah, how many people are going to buy a PC over a console? I don't see it.
And that's
right?
another thing is Microsoft is making a big push for cross-platform and PC compatibility.
You can play. I've already played with some of our old Xbox friends through my PC. I played Sea of Thieves with our friend Alex. I played it with Dwight. I believe. I don't remember who else. But I was able to cross-play with them from PC to Xbox. And that was cool. That was really cool. And I think that Xbox has the forward thinking on the software end, and I think they have the studios now to really make that push that's going to make people go, hey, maybe they are better than Sony. Maybe they are better than PlayStation, right?
I am excited to see what next gen does bring to the table.
Like, they weren't here at launch. But I believe that by the end, they could take it. That's just my hot take, though. Because who knows, maybe they'll flop off or like fucking Magic Carpet. Places will swamp them again.
So I'm going to go ahead and give you your time for your anime, if you want to go ahead and get into any series that you're watching right now.
Not tonight.
Not tonight?
I'm not tonight. Maybe next stream, just because I think I'm good on talking on just like games and all that, and it made me happy. I feel good.
That's good.
Plus, I think I'd rather force you to watch like Stay Night first.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be too much of a fish out of water on this.
Yeah, so that way you're not too much of a fish out of water. It would feel weird because I'll pretty much just be
even though I would find it very enjoyable to try to jump in and just come up with a random plot line and shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'll just run with it.
And ask
that was amazing.
Questions.
The part where the 15 versions appeared and saved everyone? Yeah, man, that was insane. Oh, no, definitely not.
Well, is there any interesting things that you want to bring forward?
Interesting thing I want to bring forward? Well, let's see. Interesting thing. Let's see, I don't know. I mean, I guess an interesting thing would be that, I guess this would be like more of a funny thing, but when I was at there was on military bases, you need to have a military ID to shop on their stores, right?
Yes.
Well, something funny was that I was doing groceries on base at the commissary, and there was a lady there who did not have her ID. And so she had gotten everything. She went to the cashier, and the cashier asked her, "Hey, I need to scan your ID so we can start the transaction." And she didn't have her. She didn't at all. And you're not allowed to use another person's ID. That's considered fraud, apparently.
Which I could see their standpoint on that.
I can understand that. But yeah, she had to actually take all of her grocery in a cart. I'm talking a cart that was completely filled to the brim, and she had to place all of it back on the shelves.
They had her actually put it all back up inside.
They had her go and like put things.
So they don't play at all on that.
So they don't play. They don't play, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. I felt for the lady because she was the lady who was in front of me, and I offered to use my ID and let her go, and he said, "Nope, pass me hers. Take all shit back," pretty much is what they told her, and she said, "All right." And she went and she put, I don't know if she put the whole thing back, mind you. She probably like put one or two things, then just said, "Fuck it."
Left the card in the middle of an aisle.
Yeah, just threw the card down an aisle and walked it. But I don't know, man. That was fun. That was funny. That was funny. That was like 2 days ago. It's pretty good.
Any games that you've been playing recently?
Games I've been playing? I actually went back to Jedi Academy. From 2003.
Oh,
and
yes.
It just reminded me how sad I am that there isn't another Jedi Knight game. Why was up?
Oh no, I was just wondering if you had any games that you played recently that you'd like to talk about.
Well, I mean, I could talk about something though with that because there is a really cool thing you can do with it. I didn't figure it out, and now I feel really dumb because it was really easy.
What?
You can go into the config files, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called the J config, and if you go in there, you can actually create a custom resolution for it so that the game always opens at 1080p widescreen.
Oh, really?
So instead of being 4:3, it's 16:9.
I wonder if they have anything like that, and shit, what is it called? Hold up, let me just go through my game list real quick, because I can't think of it.
Like, let me tell you, and also, the only issue with it is though once you do that, you also have to limit the frame rate.
Yes.
If you don't limit the frame rate, it automatically defaults to 90, right?
Do they have anything like that in Knights of the Old Republic?
Because bro, here's the thing with Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic is probably one of the most fickle old PC games ever. Like, it doesn't work on my laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it did work on my mom's desktop that had no graphics card.
Yeah.
It didn't work on my laptop with a 1050 Ti, but it worked on my mom's computer with an APU that was like 4 years old at the time, and it just ran perfectly. Yeah. Then I tried downloading it here, and I actually had to do a lot of fiddling with settings on its code. Mm-hmm. Like it's like Notepad stuff where you can go Notepad and mess with it, kind of like the config, just so it would start.
Now, I've never been able to get Galactic Battlegrounds to work.
I've never played Galactic Battlegrounds, so I can't tell you anything. Maybe when I'm down there, we can mess with it and see if we can figure it out. Because I'd be down to troubleshoot. Fun.
Have you ever heard of Galactic Battlegrounds?
Yeah, isn't that the almost like Age of Empires style of Star Wars?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it.
But yeah, I own it.
Older game.
I've never been able to get it to run though.
Seriously? Well, we're gonna have to fix that because I heard that game was pretty lit.
Yes, I would love to be able to do a stream of that.
Something that, if I pull up my Steam real quick, there was a game, Fate Extella Link. I want to point out a lot of people have a hard time getting this game to run properly.
Give me like 2 seconds. I gotta pick it up.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what's
so there's a game called Fate Extella Link, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's in that anime I want you to watch. The thing is, this game is really good. It's a great Muso game. I don't know if you played many of them, like the good old You versus 1,000, right?
Never.
Kind of style of game. You never played like Dynasty Warriors or
Okay, I do know Dynasty Warriors.
It's like that. It's styled like that. What it does is it lets you play as the characters from the Fate universe or the Naziverse, and you get to use their noble phantasms, which is kind of like their myths, since they're all like mythological heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really fun game. It's probably the most fun I've actually had with that style of game. I put quite a few hours into it, And the crazy thing is that it's actually really difficult to run on PC because it's not optimized, but it's easily fixed. But a lot of people don't know how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent like I actually beat the game before I figured out how to fix it.
Hold up.
And oh, what happened?
Just okay. So I went back onto This Does Not Exist, and I pulled up this person. And
Wait, it looks familiar.
And this is
His
just the
eyes,
first
though.
face I had pop up.
You love this like face thing, don't you?
Oh yeah, dude. It's honestly.
Oh my god. Oh, that looks like Noah. That looks like fucking Noah, dude.
But it's just so like eerie.
It is scary how good it actually is doing that. Actually,
it's not
for
even
real.
Uncanny Valley anymore.
But I was gonna tell you the issue with it, and it's hilarious, is that the game has this thing where the characters will start shaking violently. So like you'll be running around, but your character will always be like constantly like stopping in your screen, but you're still in a constant state of motion, right? So it's like your character was running like step, in animation. So like the game was running at like let's say 90 FPS, but the character was running at 45. It was really weird. And then characters would like their hair or their, let's say if they were female, their assets would start just going everywhere. Like they'd just be flopping around, hair be going up and down. It was ridiculous. And it looked stupid. And I played the whole game that way. So I didn't know how to fix it. And once I figured out how to fix it, I felt so stupid, but also it's super like you have to go into your graphics card settings. And mind you, every person who had a fix for this was like, oh, change the resolution of the game, set a frame limit. Yeah, none of that fixes anything. The only way to fix this thing is to go into your graphics card settings, pick the program out, because you know how, if, let's say, NVIDIA, I don't know if you can do this AMD. I heard AMD software is not as advanced.
Yeah.
But with NVIDIA, you can pick the individual game program, right? And then you can choose the settings for it. And with the graphics card, I have it set now that all I had to do was limit the frame rate on there. And after that, after I already spent like over like 12 hours on this game, I already beaten it. I figured out, wow, I fixed it. Now it runs beautifully, by the way. It runs so good. And then I'm playing it, and it's like, oh my god, this feels amazing. But then it felt wrong that it felt amazing. But it was a great game, and I think people should definitely, if they like anime, and if they like Fate, more specifically, definitely try it out. There's even a Discord that's active that keeps the multiplayer going. And the multiplayer is pretty fucking cool. It's set up with the idea that there's classes for the characters. Like characters are there's 7 classes. There's sabers, lancers, archers, casters, berserkers. I don't remember what the other ones are. Assassin and I already said lancer, berserker, caster, right? Saber. Fuck, I don't remember what the last one is. But essentially, you have all these. Oh yeah, rider. And the thing is, the multiplayer has like modes where it's like based on everyone picks like their class, like what class type of hero they're gonna use, and then each location, because you know how these games are like broken up into territories, and you take over territories. Each territory will have a classification. So like one territory will be a rider territory, one territory will be an archer territory. Right? Only an archer can take a archer territory from the enemy, and only an archer player can stop a territory that's of their type from being taken. So it becomes this like mix of you have to work together with your people to prevent and take.
So it really works on teamwork.
Yeah, it works on teamwork, and that's something that I've never seen in a Muso.
You know,
like I remember playing a couple, and none of their multiplayers were ever that involved.
You know what we need to play?
What do we need to play?
Civ.
Civ? Oh my god.
We
do I
need
even
to
have
sit
Civ
down at a game
installed?
of Civ.
Which one do you have? Which one? I have Civ 6 and 5.
Let me see. Hold up. I have Civ 5. I just need to install it.
Same. that was pretty good. I don't think I have anything else really to add. Anything else to say? That was pretty random topics, random stuff.
Well, why don't you go ahead and plug your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel. All right, so my YouTube channel is The Mass Opinion. Follow me over there. I don't have any social media.
What type of videos do you produce?
Well, when I produce videos, I try to make critical analyses and reviews because I'm not funny. That's what I do. This guy, on the other hand, well, he'll tell you what he does.
So, basically, I rebranded my YouTube. I used to be I Am Batwookie, but now I'm running... Fuck, I can't even talk right now. I'm now running underneath the Batwookie. I don't really have a specific content type. I've mainly been producing streams and video game content, but, you know, I work towards stuff like... Shit, I don't even know what to really work off of right now. Talk about, yeah, let me just run through my channel real quick, go under a few different things. So, sometimes I do, like, gag songs and stuff like that. Looking at making videos on, especially once this guy comes back down to town, where we'll mess around with random electronics and shit like that.
See if we can stuff electronics where they're not supposed to be.
Might even do a couple vlogs.
Don't think that way, you dirty people.
Might even do a couple vlogs. Put out a couple memes. Shit like that.
Yep, memes. Yep, definitely. It sounds like the melting pot that is your channel.
Yes.
It's very diverse.
It's just pretty much a collection of whatever I think of at that moment.
You know, like, you know something? Like, I promised The Last of Us 2 review and I never made it.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting on that.
You know, and part of why was also that like, I was just so like sick of hearing like The Last of Us controversy. I was like, I'm not gonna deal with this. Just no. And now, like, I think, you know, it's been a while. I've played a lot. I've had a lot of time to sit on it. I could probably come up with a pretty good review. Although I know people would like be angry. Yeah, you're really bad.
Dude, I really want to get that graphics card.
Yeah, the GT 1030, dude. That's something like I think if people in general should know about it, the GT 1030 is like a ridiculously good little budget graphics card. And the fact that it runs games so well is kind of mind-boggling, in all honesty.
Oh yeah, dude. For literally such a small graphics card.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I do end up doing, because I feel it, I feel the desire to start doing really wacky tech things personally. Like, I'm starting to feel like I'm trying to see if I can get a job at Best Buy. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I end up getting it. Some of that cash is probably going to go to experiments.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I will be 100% to send something your way. Like, if I make something really stupid, I'll send it to you. like, Michael was saying, just dumb, I will send it. Maybe make a video on it. Who knows, man? My channel turned to a tech channel. I was becoming one of those weird guys. It's like, oh hey, let me stuff my router full of like with a graphics card, make my router a PC.
I mean, you wouldn't really have to worry too hard about lag input.
True, it's true. If I could, oh my god, dude, can you imagine if I could somehow like, no, now you have the juices flowing. What if I could like make it to the point where my router, if I could just like somehow make enough space in there without destroying any of the internal parts that are used for the actual, you know, like networking. What if I could actually like completely build in like a low profile GPU, maybe a CPU or a tiny fucking board, and just have it directly plugged into it, like almost like I mean like soldered into it.
That'd be fucking hilarious. But why don't we go ahead and end the podcast here?
Podcast here, yeah. I think it's a good place to end with weird antics.
So you went ahead, you linked in all of your social that you have.
Yeah, because I don't really have social media that I use, so the only thing I have is YouTube. Right.
All right. So yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's end it off here. I think we're going to run with a Rocket League stream in a little bit, though.
Yep.
if you're down for that. But yeah, anyways, you guys know where to catch us. We're going to come up with a schedule before too long, and we'll release it. It's just pretty much sitting down and collaborating and clashing our heads together. But anyways, we'll catch you guys in the next stream.
See you guys later. Thanks for your time. Have a good night. All right.